Texas border county officials struggling to contain a surge of migrants, now declaring the crisis at the border as a quote-unquote invasion. That move could force the Biden administration to act or set the table to let states deport migrants on their own. And a new study from the UN has labeled the border crossing between the U.S. and Mexico as the deadliest migration land route in the world. But despite all the negative headlines, the Department of Homeland Security chief thinks things are going well.
I think that we are doing a good job. We need to do better. We are focused on doing more, and we are doing it with our partners to the south.
Kayla, as you listen to that, what would, if you were advising him and you've advised the president, what should the policy be? Put aside, I mean, the optics, they seem to fumble every once in a while, but what should the plan be, the 3 or 4 things you would be advising this Homeland Security chief to do?
Title 42 needs to come back. There is still an ongoing health emergency, and you can use that. Remain in Mexico should be in place. Apply for asylum, but do it from Mexico. If you look at the numbers that have been expelled with these 2 policies, they're significant. It would change the course of what's happening at the border. And that study you cited about the deadliest path for immigration being Mexico to the United States, the author of that study said the numbers increased in 2021, significantly more than any year prior, roughly doubled. Well, what happened in 2021? The unraveling of the very policies I just cited to you. Get the border under control. You do it, maybe it'll help you with the midterms.
Jesse?
Well, I mean, this is like Jimmy Carter saying he's doing a good job with the hostage crisis.
Right.
It's insane. I don't know. They've shattered the record of border crossings. Do they understand what a good job means? Unless the point is to bring as many people as possible illegally into this country, then yes, they're doing a very good job. If it's the deadliest land crossing in the entire world, why would you encourage hundreds of thousands of people to make that journey? That's like saying, hey, come to my castle, and my castle's surrounded with the deadly moat of crocodiles. But if you get through the deadly moat of crocodiles, I'll give you free health care and free college tuition. You'd never do that. I mean, it'd make a great reality TV show, but you would never do that to someone else that you cared about. Obviously, he doesn't care about these people. They also said that they're fleeing Mayorkas, or whatever his name is. They're fleeing climate change and COVID. Now, when we send reporters to interview the border crossers at the border and they say, why are you here? Have you ever heard a border crosser saying it's hot in El Salvador?
No.
Or I'm fleeing COVID-19? No, they say Joe Biden. They say President Biden, asylum, they say those things. So that's just a total lie. I said this before. You got to put the factories from China, put them in northern Mexico. That will keep the migrants there, happy and employed and not surging north for jobs. Last thing. If Dana were here, I'd make fun of her and say, did you read the New York Times article about Salazar, the ambassador to Mexico? It was a leak campaign by the Biden White House trashing their own ambassador for not working well enough with the Mexicans. Now, this is Joe Biden, who's tailored his whole career on being this great diplomat. He's rallying this big unified collabo over in Europe, but he can't even get along with our southern neighbor. How hard is that? He's our neighbor. You should just be like, hey, Mexico, let's go, have a drink, let's straighten this out.
On the have a drink theme, Greg, would you think that this is something that that they should be doing differently, or would you echo the things we've heard?
I'm going to take a different tack today. I think this is a mess, and it's a dishonest mess. We need to overhaul the process, that's for sure. But I don't think at this point, after doing our B block and playing off of what Jesse said, we should be dissuading good, decent people from coming here. True, it may be just for a paycheck, but that's often just the start. We are talking about largely God-fearing, family-centric people who aren't afraid of a day's hard work. They are, in short, the complete and utter opposite of what's dripping out of our campuses like coagulated pimple juice. I don't even know where that came from. But I go back to the B block, right? All of those people bashing the United States, all those blue checkers, all those celebrities, I would be willing to bet all of them were born here. And I would take 1 million people from somewhere else who want to be here over 10,000 people that don't. When the judge said, why don't those people go back? She wasn't talking about immigrants. She was talking about Hollywood celebrities, and I'm with her. I mean, honestly, would a guy or a girl from Guatemala burn an American flag when they come here? No, they're happy to be here. Would a young Hispanic couple be okay with drag queens in kindergarten? Hell no. right? They're Bible-fearing. They'd be going, this is not appropriate. Would a Nigerian mom and dad join in on a riot in the name of social justice because they just moved here and they opened a business? I don't think so. These are Eisenhower Republicans and old-school Democrats. I say bring them in, trade them for the worthless white wokesters that are destroying this country. That's my replacement theory.
Yeah, but you don't want to have them jump over deadly crocodiles, guys.
No, you don't. I'm totally anti-deadly crocodiles.
Good.
Jesse,
That
I'll
is-
make
We're in
that
agreement.
statement.
That is Mr.
Now.
Gutfeld's opening argument, Judge.
The only person who's destroying this country is Joe Biden. Joe Biden has made a decision that he wants 2 million, 4 million, 6 million illegal immigrants to enter this country. And the problem is, if you remember, 3 years ago, if we said there was a surge at the border, we were racist. Well, now it is a damn invasion, all right? And it's an invasion that the United Nations, of all people, says is the deadliest trip on earth, all right? The problem is not just what's happening to them on the way here. The problem is what is going on once they get here. The people who are coming here, and you know what? I'm not going to say they're good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know who the hell they are. I want to know what their record is. I want to know who's a drug dealer. I want to know who's a pedophile. I want to know who's a drunk, who wants to kill his wife. I want to know all this stuff. And it's not funny, Greg. The truth is they are destroying this country.
Who
in
is
terms
destroying
of
this
let
country?
let me finish,
Who?
Greg. In terms of what's coming into this country, the fentanyl that's coming in. You know what? The United States is not
China.
controlling the border. The cartels are controlling the border. And the cartels are selling their fentanyl to the Mexican, China's selling fentanyl to the Mexican cartels. They're bringing in people. They have arteries all through this country. And whether or not you like immigrants or don't is not the question. The question before us is why we are allowing a generation between the ages of 18 and 45 to be killed by a drug war, an undeclared war by China toward the United States, where Mexico's making a fortune. That's the problem.
We will come back to this topic. But ahead, President Biden is beefing with Jeff Bezos and Big Oil after getting called out on his latest spin on surging gas prices.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.